Hey mamas, why do we stay in toxic relationships even when we know that they are toxic? Let me tell you why. It's not adult you that is making that decision. It's little you, the inner child part of you, who is acting out the same dynamic that you probably experienced as a child. Let's unpack this a little bit. So, a child is dependent, both emotionally and physically, on their parents. They therefore put their parents on a pedestal and they think that their parents are perfectly capable and willing of being loving, attentive, to give them validation, that all of these things are perfectly possible. It's just that they, the children, are somehow not doing enough to warrant, to receive that behavior. So children do this because they can't go and live in society by themselves, can they? They are dependent, as we said. And therefore that family unit has to stay really strong. They have to come back to the family unit and be a part of it. So therefore, they can't be aware as a child that your parents weren't capable or perhaps willing. You'll never know the real reason, but they will never take that fact on board, because not only would it be devastating, but it would mean that they would then not have a reason to stay within the family unit. So it's kind of like a biological survival response. When we do the work as adults, we are no longer dependent on our parents emotionally or physically, and therefore this is the time to then have a look at the reality, basically, of your childhood and the stuff that you fragmented off, that you didn't want to see, that you couldn't see because it would have been in direct conflict with your survival instinct. This is when we realize that it was never about you. It was never about you being prettier, quieter, more intelligent, getting better grades, more obedient, whatever it was that you thought you needed to do better in order to get your parents' love and attention. You realize it was never about you, it was about them, because they are limited and they are flawed and they are human beings, just as you are a limited, flawed human being. So as we've said, a child can't take that fact on board. It would destroy them. But also not seeing that fact and putting your parents on a pedestal gives her a sense of hope that she can change things. So actually it's empowering to not see the truth of the situation. So that keeps her going. This is the problem with relationships as adults. If you haven't yet done the work to become aware that your childhood challenges were never about you, they were about your parents. It wasn't that you deserved the lacking behavior, it's that that was all your parents could give for whatever reason. If you haven't done that healing, then that is going to continue onwards into relationships. And you are going to project your parents onto a partner and put that partner on a pedestal and think that whatever is lacking, whatever is challenging is your fault, that you are not worthy or deserving or lovable enough to receive the treatment that you know you want, because that little girl part of you is in charge. She has put your partner, however toxic, on a pedestal, and she is continuing to refuse to see the truth. So it's a harsh reality to take on board, but the fact is we need to be aware of the different parts of ourselves that can get into the driving seat and make decisions that perhaps don't have our best interests at heart. As an adult, you're no longer dependent on your parents, and therefore you're no longer dependent entirely on a partner who may have traits or treat you in ways that are not beneficial to your overall well-being. But it's about recognizing why that pattern's there. Why were you attracted to them in the first place? And why are you still thinking that if only you could change, then they will change? It's the same pattern right? It's the same pattern of that inner child thinking, if only I could be more deserving, more lovable, more pretty, more thin, more loving, more supportive, more compliant, then my partner will be the partner that I need, that I know that he has the potential or she has the potential to be. Wrong. It's not about you. You can't change someone through your behavior in the same way that little you couldn't change your parents through her behavior. It's about seeing that parallel, seeing how that inner child is still in control of what is going on and of the relationships that she chooses to be in and stay in, and making sure that that healing is done so that adult you can take the steps that she needs to put her needs first. Hope that makes sense.